raising events, a 5K run and things like that, we're able to, and some burials, as Director Cotton mentioned, we're able to generate that $120,000. We greatly value and appreciate the support that started in 2018, and we look forward to a continuation of that in 2026 and respectfully request that you consider that.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed, and thank you for all you do for our historic asset. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you.
All right, we are going to move up item, resolution number 33191, considering board approval of amendment number 2 with KC Pet Project to continue the management, maintenance, and operations of the Animal Campus in Swope Park, extending the contract to April 30th, 2027. Deputy Director James Wong is the sponsor of this memo.
Commissioners, this is Amendment 2 with KC Pet Project for Animal Campus in Swope Park. The Neighborhood Service Department manages agreement. Amendment 1 added MBE requirements to the contract, and this Amendment 2 will just extend the service for another year. And Director Decker from Neighborhood Services is here to provide more details.
Hello, Forrest Decker, Director of Neighborhood Services Department. I think the board memo kind of outlines this pretty well, and Deputy Director Wang kind of summarized it, but yeah, basically this is amendment number 2. The council authorized one amendment or one additional amendment that would extend this through April 30th of 2027. You all need to sign off on it if you approve, just because the property is in your area, but you have no fiscal responsibility. The money is all budgeted through the Neighborhoods Department.
You answered my question.
Okay. $0 on your part. So.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item is passed, and thank you, Mr. Decker. All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 33166, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with the African Violet Club of Greater Kansas City for the use of the Luce Park Garden Center. Environmental Manager Stephen Van Ryn is the sponsor of this memo, and I welcome to speak about this item.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This and the next 3 are all garden clubs that meet at Luce Park. They've been meeting there for many years. They hold monthly meetings that are open to the public as educational events, and they each hold an annual show for their particular plants and sales that goes along with those plants. So this is the African Violet Club, and then we also have the Greater Kansas City African Violet Club coming next. And staff recommends approval of these agreements.
Are we doing all 4 resolutions or one by one?
We'll do them one by one.
Okay.
Yeah. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 33166?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33167, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with the Show Me African Violet Club for the use of Luce Park Garden Center. Mr. Van Ryn, anything specific about this one?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33168, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with the Heart of America. Oh no. Can you help me with this word? Thank you. Society for the use of the Luce Park Garden Center. Anything else on this one?
Nope, same thing.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33169, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with the Mocan Daylily Society for the use of the Luce Park Garden Center.
Same.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And this item is passed. And thank you, Mr. Van Ryn.
Just one comment, Mr. Van Ryn.
Yes.
I appreciate, I recall in previous years, you talked about how they're open to the public, and we talked about how to communicate and share with the public, because it would be a really great way for others to know about it. Do you feel like that has occurred?
We need to continue to improve that. It's
Okay.
not quite as where I'd want it to be. We did lose a key staff person last summer. That's kind of, I just got that position rehired as of
Congrats.
Monday coming up. So it's one of the tasks is going to be how to really kind of start doing that better. Also, we moved another staff person over to Luce Park on the side. the building will be much more open and available during the day because we're going to have a person in the building all the time now. So
Great. Well,
we'll
thank you.
hopefully be able to improve that.
Congratulations on the new staff member.
Thank you.
All right. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33170, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with Black Vine Worldwide Media Group LLC for the use of the Great Lawn and Paseo Boulevard to host 18th and Vine Jazz District Live. Marketing and Events Manager Heidi Markle is the sponsor of this memo, and welcome.
Good afternoon. Well, here we go with the FIFA World Cup events programming. So 18th Vine Jazz District Live is designed to celebrate and elevate the rich heritage and creative legacy of the historic district through dynamic programming and community-centered experiences. Programming and event activities will take place throughout the entertainment district and at the various attractions located down in the 18th and Vine area. So Black Vine Worldwide wishes to enter in a facility and use concessions agreement for the Great Lawn and the Paseo Boulevard to host the 18th and Vine Jazz District Lives during KC match days, June 11th, 16th, 25th, and then again on July 11th and 12th and the 19th. Kansas City Parks Department will receive compensation in an amount of $9,600 for the 6 free events with sales. Any questions?
No, excited to see these are coming through. Appreciate the timeliness of them as well.
Yeah, well, it's going to be hopping down there, that's for sure. There's more coming.
Great. Move to approve?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33171, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with the Hyde Park Neighborhood Association for the use of Gillum Park for the Hyde Park Pop-Up Farmers Market. Ms. Markle.
Yeah, Hyde Park Neighborhood Association is a 501c volunteer-led group. And last year they did one pop-up farmers market, and it's the Hyde Park Neighborhood Association doing them in Gillum Park, so it gets a little confusing, although they're both right there together in Midtown. But they had so much success that they wanted to do 4 of them this year to continue to strengthen the community ties and celebrate Kansas City's local food and creative scene. So they are requesting a facility and use agreement for Gillum Park to host the markets on May 31st, June 21st, September 6th, and October 11th. And as free events with sales, we will receive a total of $4,000 for the 4 one-day events. Any
Move to
questions?
approve?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33172, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with KC Pride and R Spot KC for the use of Tice Park in the northbound lanes of Oak Street for the KC Pride Festival. Ms. Markle.
Yeah, KC Pride Our Spot provides opportunities, support social activities, and advocacy to enrich the lives of LGBTQ plus people and the inclusive environment for all. This is year 5 for KC Pride Fest in Tice Park and is planning to be the largest one ever. They wish to enter into a facility use with concessions agreement for the use of Tice Park and lanes of Oak Street, Cleaver, and MLK Boulevard, along with 2 eastbound lanes of Manuel Cleaver Boulevard from Oak Street to Locust to host the 2026 KC Pride Fest. As 3-day events with admission fees and tickets, we will receive a total of $18,600 in permit fees.
May I have a motion to approve resolution number 33172?
So moved.
Oh, okay. Second? Yeah, I'll let her, after.
Second.
Thank you. All right, I understand we have a guest who's here to speak. Thank you.
Star Palmer here with R Spot KC.
Welcome back.
Executive Director, thank you to all the commissioners. I did want to follow up before you all vote on this. Last year, we talked about sponsorship and being in good partnership with the city as this festival brings in thousands of folks from the region and abroad. And I wanted to follow up on that as we have not heard anything and a few other things. So where do we land with that sponsorship opportunity?
I believe we have a fee waiver form that you guys can fill out if you would like to requested reduced or no fee. So if you would like to fill that out, then we can hold this item and then put it back on the agenda for May with the fee waiver consideration.
Okay, where do we find that waiver?
Carmen, would you be able to?
Heidi.
Oh, Heidi will send it to you? Okay, awesome.
And then multi-year booking, did you all resolve that?
I'm not familiar.
Multi-year booking, so we don't have to wait till January? After this year, okay. And then my last thing is, could someone send us a point of contact? We had crazy weather last year, and you all were great and good stewards, but our contact email bounced back. So whoever is our day of and pre and day of during the event contact, we will need that just in case we get mud and rain. Hopefully not, but if we can get that. And then the last follow-up was the contract language. From my understanding, KCHD, the health department, was in everyone's contract moving forward. That posed some issues last year because they chose to not be present. And then we had to move on with the county health department. And so I wanted to kind of, and maybe this is off, outside of this meeting, to figure out if that contract language is still in there and if it's customary across all events or just our event, and where that would put us in as we have that partnership with the Jackson County Health Department.
Yeah, that language is standard to all agreements now. It has been, but yeah, it's not just for your group, it's for all groups.
Okay. And how does that, if we have a sponsor that is a county level, because the event isn't just a Kansas City event, so where does that put the event producer? in
As
that?
far as if you want to work with Jackson County Health, that's fine. You
Okay.
guys can do that.
Well, the
If doc-
language reads differently, so.
If Dr. Jones would probably need to be involved in that from the health department, but we can obviously set that meeting up.
Okay, so you will set the meeting up, or do we need
Yep,
to talk
no.
to Dr. Jones?
I'll
Because
set
she
that
was unaware of the language, so. All righty.
All right. Well, we will hold this resolution till May then, and.
As
I'm
a
sorry.
follow, I just want to follow up on the action items coming out of this, that will provide STAR and the Pride Fest team a waiver to apply.
The form.
The form. Then when there's going to be discussions after this year on a multi-year potential contract, we're going to get her a point of contact, and then there's discussion on the contract language.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you for coming. All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 33173, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with Celebrity Booking USA for the use of portions of the Paseo Boulevard to host the Missouri Jazz and Wine Festival. Ms. Markle.
Yeah, the Missouri Jazz and Wine Festival is a cultural celebration featuring live jazz performances and wine experiences, food vendors, and community engagement. The event is planned right in alignment with the 18th and Vine Jazz District Live World Cup celebrations on July 11th and 12th, and will be taking place adjacent to the Great Lawn in the 18th and Vine area on the Paseo. As a two-day event with admission fees and ticket sales, we will be compensated $10,200.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 33173?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33174, considering board approval of the facility use with concessions agreement with the Juneteenth KC Parade and Festival for the use of the Great Lawn, Greg Cleiss Community Center, portions of the Dr. Luther King Jr. Boulevard, and Truman Road for Juneteenth events. Ms. Markle.
Yet one more thing happening down in the 18th and Vine area during the World Cup timeframe. The Juneteenth, which is to enter in a facility and use concessions agreement for, as you said, the Great Lawn, MLK Boulevard, and Truman Road, and the Greg Cleiss Community Center to hold the Juneteenth Cultural Parade on June the 6th and the 15th Annual Juneteenth Heritage Festival on June 19th and the 20th. This is a partnership we've had. This is the third year of a three-year MOU where we are a sponsor of the event, and with the alignment, in alignment with the MOU, we do waive their fees.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. Thank you, Ms. Markle.
Glad
you.
to see that partnership still in motion with Juneteenth. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33175, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with England FA for the use of office space in the Terry R. Dobson Parks and Recreation Administration Building. Director Chris Cotton is the sponsor of this memo.
Yes, thank you. The World Cup begins here in Kansas City on June 16th with the first game of Argentina and Algeria kicking off at 8 p.m. Tuesday, June 16th. As you are aware, Team England has chosen Swope Soccer Village to be their training facility for the duration of the World Cup. England FA is requesting to utilize vacant office space in the basement of this building to perform its responsibilities for the FIFA World Cup England Media Hub. Sky Sports will be broadcasting from this location as well, and this partnership will give Kansas City Parks and Recreation international exposure. The terms of this agreement will be from June 1st, 2026 through July 19th, 2026. Everyday Parks and Recreation operations will not be displaced, and for us, business will continue as usual. As part of the agreement, England FA will deliver a range of community engagement and operational commitments. This will include England staff interaction with summer camp and soccer camp participants, as well as hosting an open house for staff and stakeholders to tour the Media Hub. England FA is responsible for all associated Media Hub activation and build-out costs, furnishings, and IT infrastructure. The FA will provide commercial general liability insurance per city requirements. There will be no cost to the Parks and Recreation Department to host England FA. At this time, staff recommends board approval of this cooperative agreement with England FA.
May I have a motion to approve Resolution Number 33175?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? I'll just say I think this is really exciting, so thank you.
It's a neat opportunity.
Yeah. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33176, considering board approval for the acceptance of the final disbursement from the Pamela S. Ratliff Trust Fund in the amount of $16,329.41 to be used for the Kansas City Zoo. Director Cotton, please proceed.
Yes, thank you. This is the final donation from the estate of Pam Ratliff to the Kansas City Zoo. In January, the family donated $927,514.69 to the zoo for improvements and new projects that the zoo sees fit. This final donation of $16,329.41 from the Pam Ratliff Trust Fund will likewise be used for zoo improvements. Staff thanks the Ratliff family for their dedication to the Kansas City Zoo and recommends accepting this funding for use by the Kansas City Zoo.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed, and we thank again Ms. Ratliff and her niece Amber Dickens-Sheets and their family for such an impactful gift. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33177, considering board approval of Amendment Number 1 to the cooperative agreement with the NIA Project and Black Women Get Fit 2026 to change the date of the event to August 1, 2026. Superintendent of the Recreation Division, Jody Seymour, is the sponsor of this memo, and welcome.
Good afternoon. Yes, this is just an amendment to that existing resolution. Essentially, what you had said, where they had a date, they ended up needing to cancel that date. Replacement date has been selected for August 1st. All of the terms of the original agreement will remain the same, and they will continue to provide their general liability per city requirements. Staff recommends board approval to this amendment.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Love attending this event.
Yes, it's a phenomenal event.
Yes.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33178, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Restart Incorporated and Project Homeless Connect for the use of Greg Clyce Community Center. Ms. Seymour.
Yes, Restart Incorporated has requested the use of the Greg Clyce Community Center to host their Project Homeless Connect program. This is an annual one-day free community event for individuals and families that are experiencing homelessness in Kansas City. This is free for participants. The access will be granted to the Greg Clyce Community Center on May 11th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. for delivery and setup of the, and then the event taking place on May 12th from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Attendees will be given access to difficult to obtain services, including housing assistance, medical and dental care, vision screenings, identification procurement, food and nutrition benefits, employment assistance, haircuts, animal services, and more. The goal is to provide these tools in that homelessness will be reduced in Kansas City and give purpose and support to those who are seeking that brighter future. The agreement begins on May 11th and then will end on May 12th. They will provide general liability insurance, and staff recommends board approval.
May I have a motion to approve resolution number 33178?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33179, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Midwest Adaptive Sports for the use of Pleasant Valley Road Athletic Complex. Ms. Seymour.
Yes, this agreement would provide access to the wheelchair adaptive field at Pleasant Valley Road Athletics Complex each Wednesday and Saturday for youth and adults, wheelchair softball and football games during the term of this agreement. In exchange for waiving the field rental fees, Midwest Adaptive Sports has agreed to raise funds for the field improvements as well as provide youth opportunities at the field. To date, they have raised $5,000, which would go to funding one of the priority projects that they have listed. One of those main projects is a permanent restroom storage building, non-permanent batting cages, shade structure, spectator seating. They've also agreed to make sure to keep the area clean by collecting trash and disposing of that trash on a regular basis. The city has agreed to provide 2 adaptive portable bathrooms. The agreement would run April 18th, 2026 to December 28th, 2026. They will provide commercial general liability and sexual abuse molestation insurance as required. Staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33180, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with the Kansas City Blues Football Club for the use of Blue River Park Athletic Field. Ms. Seymour.
Yes, the Kansas City Blues Football Club, not football as the other football, rugby, Division I and Division II is what they offer. They're requesting use of the facilities at Blue River Park and athletic fields for adult rugby practices and games. They will compensate the city at $25 per hour for practices to be held Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and then $200 per game to be held on Saturdays from noon to 5 for a total projected amount of $2,375. Payments will be made monthly upon receipt of their athletics invoice. Any payments not received this agreement would be canceled. They agree to comply with all of our field use policies, and then the agreement would be April 21st, 2026 through November 7th, 2026. They will provide general liability insurance as required, and staff recommends board approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33181, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Missouri Wolverines Youth Organization Incorporated for the use of Himes Park. Ms. Seymour.
Yes, Missouri Wolverines Youth Organization Incorporated is requesting use for the purpose of youth flag and tackle football practices and games. Practices will be Monday through Thursday from 6 p.m. To 8 p.m., and games will take place on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. during the terms of the agreement. The Wolverines will compensate the city $25 per hour for practices and $200 per hour for games for a total compensation of $39,050. Monthly payments are due on or before the 20th of each month after receipt of the athletics invoice. Any payments not received would terminate the agreement. They will comply with all athletic field use policy. The term of this agreement would be from May 2nd until November 14th of 2026. They will provide commercial general liability and SAM insurance. Staff recommends board approval.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 33181?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33182, considering board approval of amendment number 1 to the facility use without concession agreement with Pantera FC for the use of the 9th and Van Brunt Park athletic fields. Ms. Seymour.
Yes, thank you. The primary difference with this amendment is that they are requesting use of the full field rather than half the field. So with that amendment, it would change the rental fee to $75 per hour for a revised compensation of $6,150. All other terms of the original agreement would still remain. Non-payment of rental fees would result in immediate termination of the agreement. They will continue to provide commercial general liability insurance as well as SAM insurance, and staff request board approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33183, considering board approval of a facility use agreement without concessions with Guadalupe Center for the use of Mulkey Square Park for baseball activities. Ms. Seymour.
Guadalupe Center is requesting Mulkey Square Park to conduct T-ball and youth baseball practices during the term of this lease. Practices will take place from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then noon till 3 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Guadalupe Center will compensate at a rate of $20 per hour for practices and an estimated $3,000 for lights, for a total projected compensation of $11,000 to be paid monthly. If payment is not received by the 20th of each month, an agreement will be canceled. They will comply with all athletic field use policies. The agreement would be from April 15th through August 3rd of 2026. Commercial general liability insurance as well as SAM insurance will be provided, and staff recommends board approval.
I would just like to say it's good to see Guadalupe Centers continuing this effort. I grew up playing
Yeah.
Little League at Mulkey Park, and my nieces and nephews as well. So it's great to see.
Fantastic, yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33184, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Heartland HEMA LLC for the use of Kansas City North Community Center, offering an ancient form of martial arts. Ms. Seymour.
Thank you. I think we're almost halfway done with it.
Halfway.
We're getting there. Heartland HEMA is requesting use of the Kansas City North Community Center for the purpose of offering instruction in the ancient form of martial arts. Classes will be on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the term of the agreement. They will compensate the city at 40% revenue share, approximately $220 a month, for a total estimated revenue of $2,640. Payments will be made monthly. If payment is not received by the 20th, and the agreement will be terminated. The agreement runs from April 15th, 2026 to April 30th, 2027. They will provide commercial general liability insurance. I did want to make note that their current agreement runs through the end of this month. So this is just to ensure that we don't have a lapse in time. So I just wanted to give you that heads up. The staff recommends board approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33185, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with KC Phoenix Softball LLC for the use of Pleasant Valley Athletic Field Number 1 and Tiffany Hills Sports Complex Field Number 1 for softball activities. Ms. Seymour.
Yes, Kansas City Phoenix Softball LLC is wanting to utilize those field spaces for practices on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and Saturdays at various times during the terms of the agreement. They will compensate the city at a rate of $20 per hour, estimated payment of $2,590. Payment is due on or before the 20th of each month upon the receipt of an athletics invoice. If not received, the agreement would be terminated. They will comply with all field use policy. The agreement would be starting April 18th through no later than July 29th, 2026. They will provide commercial general liability and SAM insurance, and staff recommends board approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33186, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Kenneth Brink Judo for the use of Kansas City North Community Center to offer judo instruction. Ms. Seymour.
Thank you. Much like our HEMA, the judo group, very similar in that they'll be providing instruction to beginning, youth, adult, and advanced youth judo and adult judo. Classes will be on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays during the term of this agreement. They will compensate the city at 40% revenue share for approximately $522 per month for a total estimated revenue payment of $6,264. Payments will be made monthly. If payment is not received, the agreement will be terminated. This agreement will begin April 15th and will end April 30th of 2027. Much like the HEMA group, their existing contract will expire at the end of this month. They will provide general liability insurance as well as SAM insurance. Staff recommends board approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33187, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Out Loud Sports LLC for the use of the Blue River Park Athletic Fields Number 1 for football practice and Englewood Park Diamonds Numbers 1 and 2 for kickball practice. Ms. Seymour.
Yeah, Out Loud Sports LLC is requesting the use of those facilities. Football practice will take place on Saturday from 10 a.m. until noon. Kickball practice will be from 6:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. during the terms of the agreement. The city will be compensated at a rate of $25 per hour, estimated payment of $1,400. Full payment is due by close of business May 5th, 2026. If payment is not received, the agreement will be terminated. They agree to comply with all field use policy. The agreement would begin May 14th and would end no later than August 8th, 2026. They will provide commercial general liability, and the staff recommends board approval.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33188, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Perseverance Fast Pitch for the use of Pleasant Valley Athletic Complex Field Number 2 for softball activities. Ms. Seymour.
Yes, Perseverance Fast Pitch will be utilizing is requesting use of the facilities for practices 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays during the terms of this agreement. They will be compensated. They will compensate the city at a rate of $20 per hour. Estimated payment of $840. Payment is due on or before the 20th of each month. Upon receipt of an athletics invoice, payment not received will end the agreement. They'll also comply with all field use policies, and then their agreement would be April 15th through no later than July 15th of 2026. They will provide general liability and SAM insurance, and staff recommends board approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item is passed. All right, we've gotten there, Ms. Seymour. Next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33189, considering board approval of a professional services agreement with First Student Incorporated for summer transportation support and payment of $60,000 for such services. Please proceed.
Yes, back in February, a request was submitted requesting exemption to the SLBE process for a proposal that demonstrated an organization's capacity to provide professional transportation services for our 2026 summer day camp programs. That exemption was approved. First Student has been the only organization to submit a proposal, and that demonstrated their capability to meet all of the summer camp requirements. The Recreation Division has enjoyed a reliable and successful relationship with them for the last 3 years, and as I said, that waiver was approved. Throughout the summer, the transportation will be provided for 300 youths per week, ages 5 to 15, for field trips, swim trips. Events will occur Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. You had stated that the reimbursement of $60,000 for services is that total. The terms of the agreement would be June 1st through August 7th of 2026, with a renewal option each year based on a mutual agreement by both parties. Commercial general liability, workman's compensation, and SAM insurance will be required, and the staff recommends board approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Excited to see summer camp get
Yes, we
underway
are-
here, so
we are
thank you.
We saw your
Rolling.
numbers. Good job.
Yeah, no, their staff is doing an amazing job getting that program out.
Very good.
All right, all in favor say aye.
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 That part.
Any opposed? Item has passed, and thank you for that marathon session there. All right, next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33190, considering board approval of Amendment Number 1 to the agreement with Ambiance on the Water for recreational boating opportunities. Superintendent of Parks Kevin Evans is here to speak on this item.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Welcome.
Thank you.
This is the second year of a 5-year agreement. Chris Sperry normally here, he's the owner and operator. He's normally here to answer any questions, but if you don't know, he normally docks off of the plaza down there. And pretty much, no, he had very little complaints, if any. So,
Great.
yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed. And Mr. Evans, you get off easy today.
do, don't I?
So thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is resolution number 33192, considering board approval of a change order number 1 with CM Concrete for the Indian Creek resurfacing project in the amount of $47,410 and extending the substantial completion date to August 18th, 2026. Deputy Director Wong.
Commissioners, this is change order 1 with CM Concrete for Indian Creek Trail project. That project will resurface segments of Indian Creek Trail from asphalt to concrete. Project is under construction. Change order 1 will add trail replacement for ADA compliance and also add removal replacement trees and also add fencing along the project. And the entire project is expected to be complete by August 18th, 2026. Staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a question. Did the change order move the timeline at all, or is it
Yes.
still? Okay, it did?
The change order added 30 days to the contract.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33193, considering board approval of a contract with Foundation Recovery Systems Incorporated for the Rose Garden pergola repairs project in the amount of $16,035.89. Deputy Director Wong.
Commissioners, this is a contract with the Foundation Recovery System for repairs to 3 leaning pergola pillars at the west entrance of the Rose Garden. And the contractor will install helical piers and re-level the affected piers. And the pergola structure will be temporarily detached and supported during construction and will reattach upon completion. The construction is expected to complete this summer.
May I have a motion to approve resolution number 33193?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33194, considering board approval of the agreement with Terracon for the Rose Garden pergola project in the amount of $3,460. Deputy Director Wong.
Commissioners, this is a contract with Terracon for the same project. In this case, Terracon will provide construction inspection services, make sure the installation is done according to the plans and specs.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33195, considering board approval of amendment number 2 to the design professional agreement with Talaferro and Brown Incorporated for the MLK Junior pedestrian bridge project in the amount of $258,343, bringing the total contract amount to $753,012.07, and extending the contract time to July 15th, 2027. Deputy Director Wong.
Commissioners, the MLK Park pedestrian bridge will connect communities on the north side and the south side of the Brush Creek and provide a safe pedestrian access to the park amenities. The design phase is now complete. We're moving into the construction phase. So under this contract, Terracon Brown will provide construction phase services, including shop drawing reviews, RFI responses, change order responses, and construction observation. And the bridge fabrication is expected to begin in May, and on-site construction is expected to begin in the summer this year. So we're excited.
We're very excited.
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33196, considering board approval of an encroachment license agreement with Grand Partners LLC for property located at 33 East 3rd Street for the waiver of the encroachment fee in exchange for maintenance responsibilities within the boulevard right-of-way. Deputy Director Wong.
Commissioners, this is a encroachment license agreement with Grant Partner LLC for the property located at the northeast corner of 3rd and Grant Boulevard. Grant Partner LLC has requested a waiver of the encroachment fee and has offered to assume responsibility for maintenance of the adjacent sidewalk and the cycle track.
May I have a motion to approve resolution number 33196?
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
Any abstentions?
I have a conflict of interest and will be abstaining from voting.
Thank you. This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33197, considering board approval of the cooperative agreement with the City of Fountains Foundation for fountain and sculpture conservation work in the amount of $80,000. Deputy Director Wong.
Commissioners, this is a corporate agreement with the City of Fountains Foundation to claim, preserve, and protect the following fountains: Mill Creek Park Fountain, the Scout and the Firefighters Fountain, Children's Fountain, Spirit of Freedom Fountain, and I. Davis Memorial. City of Fountains Foundation will fund the work entirely through private sources, and no city funding will be used.
May I have a motion to approve Resolution Number 33197?
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is to rescind and amend Resolution Number 33137, passed on February 10th, 2026, to approve an encroachment license agreement with the owners of the building at 1102 Grand. Deputy Director Wong.
Commissioners, the board approved Resolution 33127, authorizing an encroachment agreement with Naturality Data Center for the property located at 1102 Grand Boulevard. During the contract execution process, it was determined that 1102 Grand Boulevard is the correct entity. So this resolution will rescind the previous resolution and replace with the correct entity.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33198, considering board approval of the bid award to Gunter Construction Company for the Blues Park project in the amount of $1,142,376. Deputy Director Wong.
Commissioners, Blues Park is located at 20th and Prospect within the Q-Lake District. It was acquired in 1967. This project will install a skating rink, a restroom, sidewalks, and parking lot in the park. The restroom has been already installed. Gunter Construction has been selected to perform the work to install the skating rink through the IDIQ process. The construction is expected to complete in summer this year, so all kids can start using the skating park.
Awesome. May I have a motion to approve Resolution Number 33198?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item is passed, and excited to see this one get off the ground. Thank you, Deputy Director Wong. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 33199, considering board approval of the Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners Youth Community Center Membership Scholarships Program. Superintendent of the Recreation Division, Jody Seymour, sorry Jody, is back again to present on this item.
This one's an easy one and a fun one. So, yes, the Recreation Division of Kansas City Parks and Recreation is proposing a youth scholarship program. This program will be open to youth 17 years and younger, must be enrolled in school, a resident of Kansas City. Priority would be given to the youth in high zip code or high need zip codes, youth referred by community organizations, and youth experiencing housing instability. We'll provide both 100% fully funded scholarships as well as a 50% partial scholarship. It will be available for periods of basically an annual membership. With re-verification that would be renewed annually. Participants must follow the community center rules and code of conduct policy and comply with age-specific supervision requirements. Parent and guardian consent is required for minors. The program would be managed by the Recreation Division staff at the community centers and will be funded through a special gifts fund. The program, if approved, would begin May 1, 2026 and continue as long as funds are available. Staff would recommend board approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Sorry. Go ahead, Commissioner Smith.
We've had robust discussion in workshop about this. So since I joined this commission, this has been an important piece. Definitely see it as a mitigator for any violence or just a great opportunity for young people to get access.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we hope that it will definitely deter anyone who is struggling to have access and everything else. It'll provide them that opportunity and that we can continue to expand our programming and opportunities for youth,
So with that, so appreciate the team. One of the big things that we discussed is in the implementation of this, properly engaging youth voice. So that they can add color and context to it. Of course, we have our KC Futures, which is our youth commission. So we've got a lot of great youth programs that can help with the implementation of this.
Absolutely.
But thank you for
Definitely.
getting this moving.
Just want to say again, thank you for bringing
Yeah.
this to this board. We've heard from many stakeholders about the importance of our young people having a safe place to go, somewhere that they can have access to as well. So just want to give a shout out to the entire team for getting this in front of us and getting it going. Looking forward to the
Absolutely, yeah.
implementation of it.
We appreciate all of everybody's effort and your guys' approval.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 33200, considering board approval of the resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a lease agreement with the Kansas City Royals or an affiliated entity for Washington Square Park for the limited purpose of the city developing a plan for a professional baseball stadium in the area. I welcome Mayor Lucas and his staff here to present on this item.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Finney Sachs. I work as a special advisor to Mayor Lucas. Resolution 33200 authorizes a lease agreement to establish the City of Kansas City as the negotiating entity for the potential stadium development agreements and lease terms at Washington Square Park. This action provides a single point of contact for professional sports organizations and developers while ensuring any long-term lease is contingent upon the city securing a development agreement with a qualifying professional sports team. Stadium development can provide significant recreational and community benefits to Kansas City residents through sports and entertainment revenues and venues and investments in the parks and boulevards system, as laid out in Section 4G of the City Council Ordinance 260339, which was advanced as a committee substitute out of Finance Committee earlier today. Resolution 33200 couples with City Ordinance 260339 to facilitate next steps in the process of retaining the Royals and building a stadium in the Washington Square Park and Crown Center area. The ordinance, which advanced out of the Finance Committee this afternoon, directs the city manager to negotiate and execute term sheet, lease agreement, and development agreement with the Kansas City Royals or an affiliated entity for design, construction, and operations of a new stadium, team offices, and supporting infrastructure in the area of Washington Square Park. The total cost of this project is estimated to be $1.9 billion. The city's participation is up to $600 million. That is financed by the issuance of bonds directly or through a conduit issuer, backed by city annual appropriation pledge and direct infrastructure support. These bonds are backed by incremental economic activity tax revenues that come from localized impact areas and the stadium, as well as existing economic activity revenue growth. As a note, just kind of to lay out the next steps, final project funding authorization will come back to City Council following a TIF Commission review and third-party financial feasibility review, as will any funding agreements. So the next steps are application for council. The next steps are application to Missouri Development Finance Board, to the Show Me Sports Investment Act funding, and it also involves the negotiation of intergovernmental agreements to clarify its state funding levels to see what's available. It also incorporates the negotiation of a lease, term sheet, development agreements, and the application for a TIF plan, as well as public engagement regarding the lease and development agreements to ensure that any project is a public benefit. Speaking of benefits, I'll discuss community benefits. Community benefits from the project will accrue to the parks and boulevards maintained by the Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners through enhanced recreational facilities, beautified park space, and increased public access to recreation and entertainment venues. The community will receive additional benefits from proceeds from the stadium lease being directed to the Kansas City Park system, which, as part of the committee substitute earlier today, investment will be prioritized in historically disinvested areas and those impacted by stadium relocation. As part of the resolution, any lease agreement shall include provisions requiring the payment of additional proceeds not necessary for the fulfillment of the agreement to be funded to the Parks and Boulevard system as the community benefits for the project. As precedent, projects like these in Kansas City include Starlight Theater, Swope Soccer Village, the Urban Youth Academy, And national examples include Soldier Field in Chicago, the home of the Bears, at least for now, Oracle Park, the home of the San Francisco Giants, as well as Busch Stadium in St. Louis, which we're familiar with, and PNC Park in Pittsburgh. I welcome any questions.
President Hayden, I move that the board go into executive session to discuss real estate matters and privileged communications with city attorneys pursuant to Missouri Statute 610.21 subsection 2, and to discuss personnel matters pursuant to Missouri Statute 610.21 subsection 3 and 13.
May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are going to move into a brief closed session, and we will be back.